Ladies and most gentlemen, today we're going to check out the Dark Iron Dwarf starting zone. Yes, a starting zone. Well, I say a starting zone, it's more of like a race hub, and yeah, I'll explain it when we're there. So basically there's two ways of getting there. As a Dark Iron Dwarf, you can either use the Mole Machine to Shadowforge City by the Stormwind Embassy, or you can use your Mole Machine Racial, which I'll use right now if you guys are curious of what it actually acts like. Look at that. So you get a choice, and then at the bottom there is Shadowforge City. So Shadowforge City is a city inside Blair Adepts. I'm sure you guys have been there before in-game. So if you come here regularly through the Black Rock Mountain, this is not going to be a neutral zone for you. This is still going to be Blair Adepts as it was previously. The only way to get to this version of Shadowforge City is through the Mole Machines. So this is where you end up when you first spawn in, and we're going to do a little tour of it. So let's start at the very back, and through the magic of editing, we'll be there in 2 seconds. Okay, so now we're right at the very back of the zone. This is a copy of Blair Adepts, but there is some changes which I'll go over throughout this video. One being this big gate is no longer ajar, it's now actually closed. And yeah, let's begin. So right here, straight away, is a Stable Master and some Core Hounds. So these are, well, this one in particular is actually the racial mount for the Dark Iron Dwarves. The one over there are unarmored. I don't think you can tame them. I don't think there is any area where you can actually tame these NPCs. I did come here as a hunter and talk to this woman, but there was nothing there, unfortunately. They might make it the default pet when you start a Dark Iron Dwarf, but currently that is not what it is. And yeah, there is the racial mount, and this is pretty cool, actually. They're just kind of training, and they do like everything in sync, which is pretty awesome. And this model actually does use the same animations as a wolf model, but yeah, again, it's very, very cool. Way cooler than a wolf. Okay, so everything here is friendly to you, so there's no worries about being killed by stuff. The guards here are wearing the Dark Iron Dwarf heritage armor, as you can see. Looks okay. The chest is a bit rubbish in my opinion, but yeah, it is what it is, and the axes probably could be different, but beta is beta, things could change. So you've got the new Fire Elemental model here as well, which looks very cool indeed. And as you walk up, there's some pacing guards. You bump into Maire. Now, Maire is the reason why the Dark Iron Dwarves joined the Alliance. I'm not 100% sure on the storyline there, but it's something like that. I believe this is just a guess, because with most allied races now, when you spawn in, there's no starting zone. It's literally just one quest to go to Stormwind, and then you start your adventure. And I'm pretty sure this is this is obviously the quest. And then you spawn in here, I assume, get the quest, go through the Stormwind, and then start off at level 20, leveling away. So this isn't so much of a starting zone, but this is one of the first allied race zones that you can actually go back to at any time. So this is, in essence, your first race hall in World of Warcraft, which is pretty damn cool. So again, you've got just like random Dark Iron Dwarves standing around. This is the new model. Looks very, very cool indeed. That is actually the weapon that was data mined as well, the big two-handed mace, and it looks very awesome. Okay, so moving on. So you come up this bit. If you've ever been to Blair Adepts, it's pretty much the same. There is a few little changes here and there, but these NPCs are obviously hostile when you go to Blair Adepts, but here they are friendly. I think it would have been cool if there was some interaction when you go to BRD, but unfortunately there isn't. So it's just like the same as that. Much like I'd like to see is like some Zandalari interaction when you go to Throne of Thunder, but at the moment I don't think there is anything like that. Well, we don't know yet, but I wouldn't imagine there will be. You've got this guy stealthing around for no particular reason, and yeah, you come around here, and there's some closed off doors. So there's a door over there which is closed off and has the guard in front of it. You can actually go in here, and there is the dark coffers with the relic coffer key. I don't have a relic coffer key, so I can't tell you what's in it. The chances are these are probably just copied from Blair Adepts, and they're going to make them uninteractable, but at the moment they don't actually do anything. Or it would be cool if it was like a bank or something like that. That would be a nice little addition to this zone, because currently there is no reason to come here. I did have a look around for something at all, but there really is no reason. You can set your Hearthstone here though, which is pretty cool. So this is new here. This bridge here is brand new in this zone, not here in regular BRD, and this crosses over into some more locked doors, so it's very closed off. There is a map as well, but there isn't much you can do with it really, apart from obviously see where the Mole Machine to Stormwind is. So up here is the Grim Guzzler. You guys probably know the Grim Guzzler from BRD, and of course the Brewfest thing. This here is a Dark Iron Keg shotgun. It does nothing. I'm not too sure why. And then you enter the Grim Guzzler, which is no different. There is as I said, there is a Hearthstone here. that you can use, so if you really wanted to, but there's no real point because the mole machine only has a half-hour cooldown. It's interesting to note that the dwarves here are actually the old model of Dark Iron Dwarf, not the new one. But the old model is basically just a grey-skinned dwarf, so it's nothing really too special about that in particular. And then you come through the Grim Guzzler, nothing really going on, no band either, which is kind of upsetting. And then actually, I noticed in regular BRD there's a lot of NPCs that aren't dwarf, and they seem to be gone, and everyone is a dwarf now, and that's the exit there. So not really much to do, in this zone, unfortunately. But it is, you know, it's something for nothing, and it is cool that you can go back to this place and everyone is neutral, and it's an interesting dynamic. Obviously the Grim Guzzler is a neutral zone anyway, it's just the Shadowforge City bit that's quite interesting indeed. I'd like to see if they do add any more extra things in this zone. It would be very, very cool. I'd like to see more areas specifically for races. That would be very cool, like ones where like other races can't enter, so similar to this one. So just to add, I know one question you guys are all going to have is, can you get to the Molten Bridge? Well, the answer to that is yes, you can. Obviously, you need a healing class or some kind of class that can withstand the lava. But yes, if you drop down over there and run over, this is the Molten Bridge, and there is the portal to Molten Core. Now, I know this is the beta, and I think, honestly, this will probably be blocked off by the time live rolls around, but it's always good fun to have a little explore and see what's left over. So at the moment you can't do anything with the Molten Core portal, it just gives you an invisible wall, but that's pretty cool. So you can actually, there is a lot more over here as well. So if we continue over the Molten Bridge and up the ramp, there is actually a door on the left here, which is a Doodad Blackrock door, which is just a generic game object. That will probably be uninteractable at live, and I'd imagine the doors into the Lyceum will be closed as well, but at the moment they are actually open. There isn't any NPCs here, obviously, as you'd imagine. It is cool to see this area empty, and you can go all the way to the back of the room, actually, to the Golem doors. Now, the Golem doors are locked in the dungeon. You have to light the 2 fires. The fires are actually here as well, but they require the Shadowforge torch. Now, I don't have one of those, and I'm not going to go get one, and chances are you could probably open the doors, and I'm going to throw this out there, there's probably nothing there. It's probably just a load of empty space where the NPCs and bosses should have been. So guys, that is where I'm going to leave this video today. I hope you enjoyed it. I personally do like the idea of a racial hall. I think that's a really awesome idea, and I think they should expand it to the other allied races, potentially to the regular races as well. And it does break my heart to know that there is no real starting zones for allied races, and I'm holding out hope for the Zandalari and the Cultiran humans to have some sort of starting story to really get to know your character and your race. I know obviously the unlock scenarios are meant to be that kind of experience, but it's just not the same doing it on a different character. So let me know down below what you think of this zone, if you think it's cool, if you think this should be expanded onto other races. I'd love to know what you guys think. So before I go, let's give a massive shout out to my amazing patrons and YouTube sponsors. You guys are awesome. And if you'd like to support the channel in that way, links are down below. So leave a like on this video, guys, if you liked it, and subscribe if you haven't. I also have a partner Discord channel with over 3,000 members and a merch store over on Streamlabs. Link to both of those are in the description below this video. And with that, I'll see you next time.